And I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Who shall I send?" And I said, "Here am I. Send me." I'm back, but wait, is this in Spanish or English? New season, new language, new mission. Wait, why is this in English? Oh, my girlfriend says she only speaks English. And you would think an imaginary girlfriend would speak the same language as I do. Apparently not. The truth about language is I've always lived between two worlds, two languages, two cultures, never quite fitting in either. First, I live in Arizona and I want to grow roots here. I want to build a community here, which is something we're going to talk a lot about. And hopefully one day raise kids here with a simpler identity than mine. Second, because some of my best friends and some new friends from the US, Europe, Asia, don't really speak Spanish. And most of my Mexican friends speak pretty good English. Speaking of which, you guys should practice your English on my comment section. Or maybe the real reason is there actually is a special girl and I'm just making up a bunch of excuses. Occam's razor, right? But forget about the new language, new topic, the Catholic Misfit. What am I talking about? What do I mean by Catholic Misfit? This is a subset of Catholics that don't fully fit in, either at the bar or in the choir. They live with bold, countercultural Christian values, but they also strive to excel at things they're passionate about. So there's this passage that says, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven." Because good works speak for themselves. And I'm not just talking about the kind that you do for people in need. Those matter too. But I'm talking about how one lives. A life of vices and disordered values versus a life of virtue and purpose. Each speak by themselves. So here's what I want to film about. I'll film my training, my daily life, my adventures for the cinematic value. But I'll be speaking about faith, about vocation, values, fitness, habits, purpose, dating, loneliness, the longings of my soul, and probably more fitness. If you've seen my videos before, this is nothing new. But here's the shift. Instead of focusing on fixing broken cities, which I still love to do for work, I'm now focusing on fixing what's inside each of us. Because while policies and systems matter, real revolutions start one soul at a time. I'm not here to preach about rosaries or about cold plunges. But if something here inspires someone to go back to the gym, to go back to church, or to start living in a much more intentional way, great. But mostly I'm here to connect, to build a digital tribe with others who feel like they are misfits in this world, Christian and Catholic misfits. Know any? Send them my way. For almost 18 years, I've been working on fixing cities, but in doing so, I almost broke my own spirit. Since I was about 21, I've been working with poor countries, cities, neighborhoods, trying to fight poverty, reform systems, and fix broken cities. It all started in college. My dad had just become mayor of a very broken city in Mexico, and I wanted to help. I made a plan, won first place in a business plan competition in San Diego, won $3,000, and used that to start the mission. But more than a project, it became a calling. Since then, I've helped build beautiful parks. I've helped reform national laws, published books, produced documentaries, trained hundreds of people, worked with over 30 cities in more than 7 countries. I've had to work with mayors and senators, with cities and international organizations. But I've also walked with the poorest of the poor, with the kindest grandmas living in cardboard houses. I've worked with families in disaster zones. I've worked with youth in neighborhoods run by gangs and criminal organizations. I've lived an incredibly purposeful life, and for that I'm blessed. And yet, my soul has been wrestling with a deep inner conflict. Because while I was working hard to fix political systems. My personal system was burning out. We can get so caught up in the mission, in service, in sacrifice, in projects, in smart goals, that we forget to take care of the foundations that make us whole. Things like family, friendship, playfulness, community, a place to feel you belong, a place to call home. But there was an even greater issue. My life has often been split in two, wrestling God with contradictory values, some spiritual and some worldly. Two masters competing for my soul. And that split had been brewing up a storm inside of me. As C.S. Lewis says, there are only two kinds of people in the end: those who say to God, "Thy will be done," and those to whom God says, in the end, "Thy will be done." All that are in hell choose it. Without the self-choice, there could be no hell. No soul that seriously and constantly desires joy will miss it. Those who seek find. To those who knock, it is opened. For years, I've had two internal battles. I've wrestled with God since I was a kid. Prayer, altar server, youth group, church camps, sacraments, mission trips, good grades. I didn't act out, but didn't fit in with the cool kids, constantly got rejected by girls for being too good. So I learned to play the game. I got strong, I got smart, wise as a serpent, and harmless as a dove. Learned to fake fitting in, kind of. In my 20s, building up cities in Mexico on the weekdays, building churches in Arizona on the weekends, helping priests, gardening, volunteering. But I soon found myself living two lives. I didn't really feel like I belonged with the people at church, the choirs, with the RCIA, with the Knights of Columbus. So I began going out to party at night, to search for people my age, hoping to find people like me, find love, trying to fit in. I longed for friendship, for community, for belonging, and for worldly success, for approval from society, from my family, from my friends, but especially longing for a partner to build all this with, for a soulmate. But to be honest, deep down, I was afraid that if I acted too Catholic, I'd fail in life and scare everyone away. So I'd soften the edges, play the part. But then again, there I was. 1 a.m., dance floors, music blasting, friends laughing. And sure, I definitely dated some beautiful girls and surrounded myself with fun people and adventures. But my soul kept growling for more, like kept that side of me quiet. 10, 15 years passed, my light began to burn out. And yes, oftentimes, good Catholic men need to get good at courtship basics first. After all, even the path to the heart of a good Christian woman needs wit, social intelligence, humor, playfulness, confidence, safety, romance, protection. And I got pretty good at all that. But the more dates I went on, the further I felt from finding someone that would actually align with my soul's calling. Because I wasn't being my true, authentic, weird self. And yes, sometimes embracing the calling that makes us a misfit can mean lower chances of worldly success, finding love. Some of us have to make peace with that first. But what I began to fear more was ending up with the wrong partner or getting trapped in a career that starves my soul and never finding out the reasons for why God put me on this earth for. Thy will be done. I have a feeling it'll all work out. So this time, I'm not holding back. My videos aren't quite about urban design or public policy anymore. For now, it's about personal transformation. What I do behind the scenes, how I train and eat, and cold plunge and sleep, what I reflect about, how I fall, and how I get back up. I know my mix of faith and fitness may seem provocative or immodest at times if you're watching from an office, and I'm out here training in a jungle or a beach or in the Arizona heat. But I really just hope to be authentic and transparent about what it takes, the sweat, the pain, the hard work, to preach through results, not through words, by showing the life of someone who tries to walk the walk, not just the talk, showing what true discipline, grit, sacrifice, and purpose look like to me. My goal is to show my real journey as I continue to try to become the full man that God created me to be, mind, body, and soul, imperfections and all. I'll share my trainings, habits, mistakes, wins, struggles, reflections, adventures, faith, all of it. And in the process, I hope to meet and build a tribe of other misfits that pursue Christian and Catholic values, whether athletes, artists, creators, builders, self-growth junkies, people who inspire me and who make others want to live with a bolder faith and purpose. People who are deep, hungry, restless, who want to become saints in a world that laughs at holiness, and not scared to shine and stand out in ways that will get them criticized. As long as it inspires some to wonder and come back to their faith. If that's you, let's connect. Let's run together. Let's cheer each other on. Let's light a lamp. And let's set this digital world on fire too.